it's me. I'm gonna do that whole yammering thing I do. Well, more accurately, I'm again taking one of the old yammers that I recorded pre getting all the cool setup, and this one is with Mr. Plow, who is just a phenomenal person. The audio is not great on it. We were having the conversation while he was in a car, and so my voice is coming over his speakers, and it sounds a little bit like a lot. This is life. We're learning. Um, but it's a great conversation and was a whole pile of fun to be involved in. So I hope you enjoy. All right, we're going to try this. First, I have to send Plow the link. It'll be good. Dave Plow is also known as Mr. Plow, one of the coolest human beings I've ever had the privilege to know. And we used to have a whole pile of fun. He used to come through Calgary all the time, playing music, and we hung out quite a bit. We went on tour together at one point, a whole 4 days. It was, you know, the biggest tour of my life, which probably says a lot about my life. Alright, I think I've posted a thing in all the places I need to post a thing. I don't know if people can hear me. I'm kind of hoping that they can, because, you know, I've got earbud things in for the first time, and we'll see what happens. So if you are, I see there's a person watching. If you're watching and you can hear me, just give us a thumbs up, because I have a funny feeling that these earphones are stupid and evil and full of hate. I have sent a link to Mr. Plow. I guess I could probably do the tag thing. Invite. Alright, so now we just wait for Mr. Plow to join us. I just checked with him and he should be nice and handy. Ah, there's Mr. Plow. Okay, so Dave, there should be a... Oh, wait, you can hear me. Good. Excellent. There should be a thing that says, click here to come on camera. It hasn't figured out that you're here yet, so that might be why. It always seems to take a second, and we all freak out and go, oh my god, it's not doing its thing, and then all of a sudden it does its thing, and everything's better. So we'll give it a sec. Jackie Levy is watching. I don't know Jackie, but hi, Jackie. Just waiting for Mr. Plow. He's here, but there's the usual Facebook Live gobbledygook as we attempt to get it all set up and working. Okay. So it says you're invited, Dave. Add viewers to be in your broadcast. It says you're invited. There's got to be a button that you push that says "Let me be in the fun," and then it'll give me a little thing that says that you're there and that you should come on camera. I don't know why it's not doing that, but it will. Oh, it recognized you there. Suddenly I see you there, and I can bring them on camera. Adding. This should be the thing that fixes all the problems.
And hello? Is this good?
This is good.
Like, do I need more light?
No. You're beautiful just the way you are.
I'll do it like this. Here, let me get my mask.
All right, I'll get my mask out too.
No one will hear us. No one will understand us. It'll be great. It'll be so good. Get rid of these fucking comments. They're all just black.
Dave, it is so good to see you, man.
It's been a while, dude.
It has been
It's
a while.
been 10 years.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Probably not
Last time
quite.
I saw you on your birthday at the tail end of the failed mentors tour.
Yes. Yes.
I,
I
I was
remember.
the surprise for your birthday
It was such a good surprise.
that you knew about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the show. So yeah, we went for breakfast the next morning, and I think that's the last time we hung out.
No, I think I left right after that show.
Oh, you know what? You came back. You went to Vancouver, I think, and did a show, and then came back or something, or you stayed for an extra day or something. I
No,
remember.
I think I stayed. I had breakfast with you. I think after the mentor show that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I played your birthday, and then I hightailed it like shortly after my set to start driving home.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. So what's in Portland?
Yeah, that's where I am. Hang on. Yeah, I'm still here in
I can't
Portland.
help but I can't help but notice you're a guy talking into a phone in your car in the States. Does this make us like conservatives?
Uh, no, this makes us insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How is Portland? Is it like a big difference from Vancouver or
Well, for one, I always have to say I'm from Vancouver, Canada,
not
because right
Washington?
across the river is Vancouver, Washington. And if I just say Vancouver, everyone instantly assumes, oh, well, you're just from across the bridge. Like, you're just over. I'm like, no, add 4 more hours, fuckface, like,
Yep.
and then you'll figure out where I'm from. Uh, and uh, People say I have an accent.
Yep.
And I say no. I speak the Queen's English, which means I enunciate every letter in the word. I don't skip letters like Americans do. Sometimes that goes over well, and sometimes people are like, "Hey, are you saying I talk funny?" I'm like, "Well, you said I talk funny, so
Yeah. Asshole.
use on
I
what,
I,
dumb."
I was in Denver years and years ago for a conference, and this I bumped in like literally accidentally bumped into a girl in this cafe in like bar cafe thing, and I said, "Oh, sorry," and she goes, "Say that again." Sorry. Just say it again. I'm like, sorry. She's like, "Oh my God, where are you from?" Like a hour's flight north, but apparently it's sorry, not sorry.
Oh yes, yes. Uh, a big one is spaghetti noodles are a kind of
Pasta.
right. Yeah, that's how we say it.
Like
That's
a
not
pasta.
pasta.
Poo-poo.
We eat pasta. They eat pasta
Yeah.
because they're so refined down here. So refined that it's pasta. Do you process or process? Do you proceed or proceed?
Is it a lieutenant or a lieutenant?
It's fucked, man.
Yeah.
Like it's I love it. It's hilarious. I've planted my roots. I got 2 kids. Bought a house a couple years
Yeah.
ago. Homeowner.
Mhm.
Never saw that coming. Uh, I have a job.
Yep.
It's I'm an Uber driver, but fuck, a job's a job, right? Especially in
Oh, absolutely.
these days, right now.
Yeah.
The best part about doing that is the flexibility is fantastic because I can do this uh, without asking my boss for time off.
Mhm.
As I tell my customers, I'm never late for work unless you talk to my wife. Then I'm always late for work. Um, because I make my schedule. Like
Yep.
there's days when Erin is just like, so are you gonna work today? Were you gonna go at some point? Like today?
couldn't help but notice you're still on the fucking couch.
Couldn't help notice that you're still playing with the kids, and it's almost dinner time, and you still haven't left the house yet. Are you taking a day off? No, just not going to work. And this whole pandemic thing, it's a lot of fun down here because America is doing a very poor job compared to other countries.
What?
What? The Cheeto in chief spreads a whole bunch of words, and whether or not they get believed is another thing. And next thing you know, what are we averaging? What they say? We're averaging more death per day than 9/11.
Yeah, then like a 9/11 every day.
Yeah. Good times. Excuse me, I'm fine, I swear. Yeah.
I get it, man. Like we're really trying to take it seriously, like Alberta, but we've got our contingent of those patriot people that are they're exactly like what you have in the States, but just like the Canadian version. So they're not quite ready to shoot anyone yet.
So they say the loud, mean words, but then go, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah. They pronounce it with a hard A at the end. Get it? A.
Hey.
Canadian. Yeah. No, it's we've had a whole pile of like anti-mask demonstrations and stuff, and like whatever your take on the world is and everything, like this is the sword you want to fucking fall on. Like this is the important battle you're going to wage your life war on. Like fuck, dude, get a hobby.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up, man. Like down like Portland, there's been civil unrest here since was like I guess like it flared up big when that George Floyd incident happened, right? And here it was protest, and it just was getting insane, right? The Justice Center downtown, which is the courthouse, also police department area, this like 2-3 block radius, that's where all the craziness was happening on a nightly basis, right? You got your riot police, and then the other side you got your Antifa, of course, and then you got your Black Lives Matter protesters, and on a nightly basis, it was just like fireworks, flashbangs, tear gas every single night, and that was going on over a good solid couple months. Every single night, like they would, and it got to a point where people are living in the park across the street, and then of course it caught national attention. And then, of course, the Cheeto in chief starts spewing how Portland is on fire, and how certain media outlets are screaming that Portland is on fire. So, of course, then I start getting calls from the family, emails from friends. Are you okay? Are you what's happening down there? And like I was talking to my mom on FaceTime, and she's just like, "What's happening?" I would just like open the blinds and turn the phone and go, "Does it look like we're burning? Blue skies." Like we could practically see downtown from our house, right? And it's like blue sky, like we're not burning. We did have wildfires in the summertime, and we were 2 blocks outside of an evacuation zone, which we almost had to. But like there were so many multi-million-dollar homes between us and the fire. Like in my mind, I'm going, they're going to be saving those homes. We're safe. Those houses are worth way more, and I'm sure the insurance companies would be like, no, we'll come fight the fire so we don't have to pay you. Like, I got a bucket, I got a hose, I got galoshes. I will be right there because I don't give a fuck what your deductible is. I'm going to save your house. So that was about I think the evacuation level thing was, I think we sat in that for about almost 2 weeks, like waiting for it. And my wife, she packed the car, was just like, we're ready to go. And I was just like, I'm going to work. I'm not going to sit here and scream, what if, you know, uh, I'm going to go to work. And if something happens, call or text, or I'll see the breaking news alert on my phone, and then I'll finish whatever ride I'm in and I'll race home and we'll go from there. Luckily, we never had to get to that level. But the protesting continued all through the wildfires. They were willing, because we had like I think there was a week or something where Portland was number one in the world for worst air quality because of all the smoke from the, because we had, it was like there was wildfires southeast of Portland, and then west, like heading towards the coast, there was fires there. So we were getting smoke from two different sides. And then you had wildfires up in Washington, wildfires up in BC. All the smoke would always make its way down here as well. So yeah, our air quality, like, hey, good thing we had our masks. We were protected for the air quality, like we were good then. And they protested all through the smoke and made more of their own smoke, more tear gas. And then of course the Tito in chief decided, I'm going to take matters into my own hands because your mayor and your governor can't do shit. So I'm going to bring in the federales, which was insane when the federales showed up. Uh, like, it was border guards from up north came down, or even ones from south came up, and a whole bunch of other Homeland Security mofos. And they just went to town on the protesters, and were just like their pepper spray, the tear gas, the works. And then what happened was, and this is honestly, in my opinion, if this doesn't become a Lifetime movie of the week, someone needs to get shot, because then the moms came out, right? All these nice, no, I wouldn't say elderly, but like, like in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they all came out and were like, these are our kids, piss off. And we don't like what you're doing, just in general. So they all came out wearing yellow shirts, yellow jackets, like that was their gang. Those were their, yeah, these are our colors, yo. And they all came out in yellow. And what was fantastic was someone created the hashtag on Twitter, Mom Tifa, which was so good, right? And they took the front line. They went in front of all the kids and were just like, they linked arms and were like, we're now gonna stand forth and stand in front. They got pepper sprayed, tear gassed, right? And then all these dads were like, what the fuck, right? They come out, but the dads had one little secret weapon in their chamber. They all went to Home Depot and bought fucking leaf blowers. Electric cordless leaf blowers. So they all took the front line, right, the next night. And once the tear gas started, they revved up their leaf blowers and blew all the tear gas back into the faces of the cops, which they learned this method from the Chinese protesters, because that's what they do, right? So they took this method and ran with it, and it was amazing how they stepped up, right? And then the mom Tifa. So you had mom Tifa, you had your dad Tifa as well, and the moms were still the moms were still getting pushed around a bit. And then the next night, a bunch of veterans came out. So Vet Tifa showed up, right? And they were like, you're fucking with our moms. Well, no. And then they stood in front of the moms. So they took the brunt the next night. Then the night after that, the moms were like, no. You've done enough for us. They went and stood back in front of them. It's gold. It's like it's an amazing thing that transpired, and it got to the point where the federales were just like, we can't do this, like we can't. Plus also the governor and the mayor stepped up and said, like, you guys cannot blast these people the way you're blasting them with the gas.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So they ended up you know, prohibiting certain gases being used, and then pretty much told them all to get the fuck out of our city. And they went with their tails between their legs and left. And you know, just this whole Mom Tifa thing was outstanding. And then for a while, I was doing the Uber Eats delivery stuff, and I'd pull up to a house and you'd see an empty box for a leaf blower on the front porch, right? But then you look at their yard and you're like, this guy doesn't need a fucking leaf blower. This guy's got Tifa.
Yep, right on.
Yeah, it's one of the good guys.
That's awesome.
You know, so
it's amazing to me how really effectively they're trying to make it so that the dad Tifas and the mom Tifas and the whoever are the bad guys in the narrative. Like, the government coming up with tear gas.
Yeah, because we have morals and ethics, and logic. We're horrible people. You know, like they would go to the ice building here and protest the shit out of it when all those kids were taken away from their parents. There was just as much conflict there, and that was what, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And that shit was crazy what was going on here. Like, it was hundreds of people protesting against it. And and I would drive people to the protest and just be like, fuck yeah, dude, you rock it, you know? Like, if I give you $1, can you throw a soup can for me? You know, like I write my message on the soup can and you toss it, right? Because that's what Antifa does, is they throw soup cans. Yep. Yeah, it's no longer Campbell's soup, it's Antifa soup. And even New Year's Eve, like, shit mellowed out in the last couple months. It's gotten a bit mellower here, but then on New Year's, all of a sudden they're just like, hey, let's one more time for 2020, and they went back to the Justice Center and the fireworks lit up and the bonfire in the road, and whew, good times, man.
I imagine that it's amazing to experience that as a especially as a Canadian who now lives in Portland, and to watch the city suddenly go through all this. Like, this is it's one in a lifetime experience, I imagine.
Yeah, like I can't, like, all last year I would tell my son, who my older of the two, who's 7, I would tell him, remember everything you are witnessing this year, because in 10 years this is going to be in your textbook. When you're taking history class when you're in high school, they're going to be like, hey, remember 2020? You're going to be like, oh, fuck me, that's the year I'm still trying to forget. Online schooling, and I hear
it says here we were the good guys, Dad.
Yeah, and it's just so much this past year, because like it would just baffle my mind when I'd get customers in the car and they're like, yeah, so we're from out of town, what's good to do here? And I'm going, why the fuck are you here? Like, do you not know there's a pandemic going on? Do you not know there's civil unrest in our city? Like, downtown is pretty much a ghost town come 6 o'clock at night. Everything is boarded up. They have spray painted on the outside of the plywood, like, we're open, I swear, we're open. Like, just pull on the handle of that plywood door we now have, but I swear to you, we're open. And just so many places have now gone out of business downtown, which is a shame. I would say it's 60% because of pandemic, and then 40% because of all the protesting, because people just got to a point where they're just scared to go downtown. They don't know what's going to happen, even though everything protest wise was mainly confined to a certain area. But you still had no idea, because sometimes they would go and decide, like, we're going to march. Hey, la 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 la. Oh, let's go this way. And then next thing you know, they're smashing windows. And it's like the one thing I never understood, um, as a Canadian in this strange land, is like, okay, you're smashing out the window of a Starbucks. I get it. Multi-corporation, fuck the man, right? Hate the way they treat their staff. Or, the Wells Fargo Bank or the U.S. banks. Target is funny because they never get nailed, even though they got the bullseye right there on the side of the building. That should be the place you should be going for first, But no. But the thing that always would bother me is you would hear like, oh, they hit a bank, they hit a Starbucks, or they tried to get into the Apple Store, which has like the most insane thickest glass in the world. That good luck. But then they'd start hitting the mom and pop shops. Small business owner guy's been struggling the last 2 years as it is, and it's been like a key part of downtown for the last 35 years. Everybody likes to go to their store or whatever. Why are you knocking out their windows? What did they do? They're trying to survive, and now you just fuck them more because you blew out all their windows for no reason. Like they're not the man.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes to the reality that they're not necessarily thinking about what they're doing in that moment. Like, not that they're caught up in the moment or whatever, but it's an act of, I'm fucking angry and I'm going to smash something. And, it's great if it's a target, as you say, it's right fucking there. But, if it's a mom and pop shop, it's whatever's in front of me.
Yeah. Like, I just don't grasp the concept, because then those are the people, when they're not in their protest clothes and everything, they're the ones who are like, shop local. It's like, I would, but you fucked that place over that I wanted to go shop at, and now they're gone.
Yeah.
Because you're an idiot.
Yeah. We haven't had a whole lot of like actual conflict. The anti-mask folks had a rally a couple weekends ago and finally pushed the cops to the point where the cops got a little rough with them. And there was some idiot kid who was, and this is typical fucking right-wing bullshit news. This kid, the cops, him and his buddies are playing hockey, and they're in a much larger group than they should be. And the bylaw officers come, they're like, sirs, you have to disperse. And he's like, thank you, cover. And then so they call the police, and the police come, and they're like, dude, go home. And he's like, thank you. And so they tased him or some shit. And all of Calgary's like, I can't believe they would use a taser weapon against a child. I'm like, fuck, really? Because if they physically touched him, you'd have been, because it was a white kid, right? If it was a black kid, those same people would be like, those goddamn savages, they shouldn't even be allowed to live.
They shouldn't even be in Alberta.
Yeah.
How they make far?
I keep forgetting every now and then that, like, I forget how really racist it is here, because I don't see it and I don't feel it, but that's because I'm a white guy. And I don't, I'm not confronted by it all the time.
And all your friends are white.
What's that?
And all your friends are white.
Not all my friends. I know a black fella. No.
Yeah, the only one in Calgary. No, wait, he moved to Winnipeg. Yeah, they're not.
I joke about. I was actually talking earlier today, like when people do that whole like, oh, I've got a black friend. It's like, to me in my ear, it's the same as that, like, oh yeah, I had sex this summer. You wouldn't know she's from Niagara Falls.
She's from America. I met her briefly. We met in Cabo. Yeah, we met at summer camp. It was amazing. 2 nights of bliss. Yeah, I have a black friend. One. But the thing is, in Canada, like, oh, that's like, wow, that's kind of a surprise in Canada of all places. But I remember being on tour when Aaron and I were coming back across Canada just before we did our mini tour with you guys. We were in good old Regina, Saskatchewan. And I was playing a show in a small room, and then there was a big room next door, which was, of course, was like fucking DJ techno bullshit. And of course, there's 500 people there, crammed into this place. I'm in a spot playing for like 20 people. I was supposed to play with some dude from Canadian Idol. I had no idea what the fuck, you know. And so we're standing outside having a smoke, and then we see security guard come from the big room. Only one security guard. And he goes, "These fucking N-words." Aaron looks at me like, what's happening? And I go, hang on, there's more to his sentence. And he's just like, "I'm going home and I'm getting my gun and I'm coming back here. This is bullshit." And I was just like, what the fuck, right? So she's like, "Are we safe?" And I go, "Well, he is the only security guard. So as long as we're behind him, I think we're safe. And the color of our skin, I think we're safe based off his sentence that he used." And yeah, he came back and he was just like this. We never saw a gun, thank God. But he was just like, "This is fucking ridiculous." And N-word, N-bomb, N-bomb. And I was just like, I got to play as fast as possible. We got to get the hell out of here. Right. Oh yeah, that was, and I was just like, wow, I've never seen this side of Saskatchewan before. I knew it. I've always known it was there. You know, I would always say to myself, like, I tell people down here, I go, Alberta is the Canadian Texas. Yeah, which it truly is. There's a lot of conservative mofos in that province there. Saskatchewan, I think it bleeds off into there, and I think there is some liberal. I think in the cities of Saskatoon and Regina, there's a lot of liberal. But I think when you talk to all the farmer folk, then you're all the rural. Then they're like, "Yeah, I wish Stephen Harper would come back, give another try." Yeah, and down here, like honestly, and excuse me, if it wasn't for Portland, and the population of Portland and the surrounding suburbs, we would be red. Yeah, and same for Washington as well, and California too. If it wasn't for the big metro cities, the West Coast would be completely screwed. And and when you have all these protests like we do, then you get the jackasses that come down from Washington. You got your Proud Boys, you got your Patriot Prayer people as well. And they're like, no, we love everyone, we just don't like you. It's like, oh, why? Because I have logic and I think with morals. And, yeah, we don't like what you stand for, and because we're with the boys in blue. But now, I guess there was a big protest thing in Salem this past weekend. I think there was a bunch of anti-maskers and a whole bunch of, open up our state kind of bullshit. The Proud Boys were all down there. And then the cops started to be like, "Hey, you guys are being idiots," and then started roughhousing the Proud Boys. And I saw a video of one guy going like, "What the fuck, man? We were on your side. Why are you attacking us, man?" It's just like, because you guys are breaking the law right now.
That's the only side that we should be caring about.
Right. Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, you're white. Right. I forgot. No. And then, so yeah, that leads me to our magical tour that we did. 4 days of bliss. Now, I know I keep bringing this up with you about of everything. My favorite day was Edmonton. Not the show. It was the debacle in the parking lot and what we witnessed across the street before the show. That was the purest of gold I had ever seen. And I think that was a great introduction to just weird Canadianism that Aaron got to see. watching those three guys just get shit faced across the street as you guys were all getting shit faced in the parking lot. And then because we all thought they lived in that apartment across the street.
Yeah,
We assumed because they had lawn chairs,
Mm-hmm.
and then we kept watching them go into the apartment building, right? And then they came out with the broomstick and the iron, and then started playing iron baseball. And then the part that really cracked me up was when they packed up all their shit, and then they came over. They came over to us.
Yeah.
Because and then drank with us for a few minutes, and then they're like, "Well, we're out of here. See you later." We're like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "We don't live here. We're just visiting Edmonton." I think they're from like Dawson Creek or some weird shit or something like.
Yeah, and they literally just like found a street corner with a place that looked comfortable, and just like, this will be where we get drunk and play iron baseball.
Yeah.
Just fucking, and then they hit a bus with that iron. And very Canadian, the bus driver's like, "Yeah, you goddamn kids, put your eye out with that thing."
Yeah, they did hit the bus, didn't they? Yeah.
Yep.
And then there were those two drunk guys that tried to pick a fight with that family walking down the street, and then Mark was like, turned into like the Incredible Mark, and just followed them the subway. I think it was him and Jim. Was it Jim?
I think it was Evil Boozer. It wasn't Freud. I remember him being pissed off that he missed it.
Yeah.
It was Evil Boozer, Mark, and someone else, and I can't think of who.
They followed him the subway and beat the shit out of him. And I remember telling Mark, don't do it. Mark, don't do it. You're supposed to be good, Mark. And then I remember him coming back to me and going, "Sorry, Plow." I just had to. I had to. I'm like, okay.
The night before at Innisfail, I came outside for a smoke, and there's like a bit of blood on the ground. Not like a huge amount of blood or anything, but there's a little bit of blood on the ground. And I was like,
little splatter.
I go upstairs, and I'm like, "Hey, Mark, you been outside?" And he's like, "Oh, I punched this guy." But he deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark's doing really good. He's quit drinking.
What?
Yeah, he still smokes all the weed there is, but he's quit drinking, and he's being healthy. He's working out.
Yeah, he's married.
Married, yeah. And he's doing really like making grown-up choices. It's so weird.
Right. Now, I think I already know the answer to this, but is Garen still a fucking idiot?
I honestly haven't seen Garen in a long time. I love Garen, but I understand why you think he's an idiot, and I'm certain that he has not changed. So the answer to your question is yes, Garen is probably still a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I don't need to go into reasons, but just
No, I got this.
Yeah. I remember one day, I think you sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I just denied it.
Yeah, you guys, I remember. I thought it was just you having fun, and then we had a show with you once at Vern's, and Garen came walking up, and he was like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah. Nah. Oh yeah, no, that was after I changed the lyrics to the song to be about him.
Yep.
Yeah. Garen's a bitter, jaded old fuck. Yeah. If you can't take a joke, then fuck off. He knew what I did on stage. Like, he's seen it enough times. It's like that reminds me those two guys who did the acoustic thing, and we did they challenged me to the acoustic. They were like
the Neef Kings.
Yeah. And then we did that big Plow versus Neef Kings show at the Underground.
Yep.
And then they went up and heckled me, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then they wrote a song about me. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I got up and did my stuff and just heckled the shit out of them. And it got to the point where the singer had a helmet of some sort, and he kept threatening to throw it at me because he was upset with me heckling him. And I was just like, dude, you heckled me your whole fucking set. And now it's my turn, and now you're being a baby. It got to the point where even security came over and was just like, we're either going to take your helmet or we're going to take you. Take your pick. And he was just like, fine. And, and they took the helmet away, and yeah. That was ages ago. Yeah, probably, going back almost 15 years now, I think.
Yeah.
A good 15 for sure.
We used to, whenever we did the Beer Corps Awards, we used to take the worst table in the entire room and save it for the Neef Kings.
So always at the back by the bathroom.
Or with a pillar in front of it or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And they probably bitched about it the whole time.
Hated it. And we would be like, I did not realize, oh my God, that's where you guys are? That's so weird. 10 years of this. Damn.
What? Oh, I think I actually beat them out for a Beer Corps award, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. My brain doesn't hold facts anymore.
I got like an honorary or something, because I know Mark has always classified me as a honorary CBC member, which is hilarious because it seems every town, not every town, but there's some towns that I would frequent more than others that had their own kind of scenario. And it's like, I'm an honorary member here, I'm an honorary member of, because like down here in Salem, Oregon, which I would always classify as the South Park of Oregon, they had their own kind of scenario. They were called the Salem Drunk Corps, and it was a group of bands, and they had their own group of people, and they would always just go support each other's shows and whatnot. And they always made me an honorary member, even though I don't drink. They're just like, and like same with Mark, like, you can still be one of us. I'm like, okay, you guys can have all the beers. I'm not gonna drink them.
It's funny because like a few years back, we were working Distortion. Lord Heathen came for a show, West of Hell, right? We had them in, and Mark walks up to Lord Heathen and he's like, hey man, like, I just want to tell you, like, we've met before, but I don't expect you to remember me. My name's Mark. I'm one of the managers here. And I run this thing called the Calgary Beer Corps. And he's like, oh, and he lifts his leg up and turns his leg, and he's got those shorts that have never seen the inside of a washing machine, right? And there's this like gray and black Calgary Beer Corps patch from the last time he was in town.
That's what's holding his shorts together. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, Heathen he's a great man. He has an amazing set of pipes when it comes to singing. Very underrated. I personally prefer him in Zimmer's Hole than in West of Hell, but that's just me. And I also really enjoy all the backup vocals he does on one of my albums. But hey, I'm allowed to be biased in that regard. So yeah, because that's him on the I Like Your Tits song on the Apocalypse. That's him with the spoken word bit.
My youngest son has decided that he needs to run away to prove that he's a grown up.
Oh,
he's living with me. He's fine, but as a humorous moment this morning, I decided I was going to play a Mr. Plow song for my other son, Seth, who lives with me, and I chose Hand Jobs for the Homeless because it seemed fitting with my kid being homeless.
Fuck you, Dad. Yeah, I have to say I was very surprised how Christmassy that song turned out.
Very.
I think part of it is because I do recall a lot of the vocal tracks and a lot of the just extra instrument stuff, other than the main ingredient instruments, uh, uh, was all done on a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So that it just could have, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle.
Is that keyboard like ding 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 ding?
That's
It's
a
very
glockenspiel.
Christmassy. Yeah.
Glockenspiel. Oh
Yep.
yes.
It's a glockenspiel. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, the only thing not really Christmassy about it, besides the lyrics and you, is Chai.
Oh
Some of
yes.
the because he does great, but there's a couple of, I can't remember the line now, but where he says it and you're just like, ah,
Oh, you mean that I will accept donations?
yeah, we'll accept the donation.
Yes, that was a very special time with a very special man.
Yeah,
Uh, it was, yeah, sitting there watching him record those vocals. That was at a later period, actually, when we did his vocals. I had to kidnap him from downtown. I knew exactly what bar he would be at, and and he knew what time to be ready. And Wendy, who ran the Cobalt, uh, she she came with me too, because she sings some backups as well, and she's like, I know exactly where he is. It's like perfect. So we went in, and there, sure enough, there he is, beer in hand, and he's like, what do you mean we gotta go? I'm like, dude, we gotta go now. Like, this is now. He goes, oh, okay, can I bring my beer? Like, no, no, I'll buy you smokes, leave the beer, I'll buy you a beer after. Okay, okay. And raced them out there and got it done, and yeah, he was able to bring the only type of magic he knows how to bring. And of course, he also knows how to take a song where the lyrics were already crossing lines, and here's the line, here's like just where I am over the line, but then Chai comes in and goes, whoop. We're gonna make it further, because he's like, I feel like you're singing the song to me. It's like, no, but okay, take it as you will. Yeah, and there is a part of me now, since he passed away. What was that, like 3 months ago, 4 months ago now? Something. I truly feel that album is. What's the word I'm looking for? Not haunted. It's I can't think right now. Let's just say this: 3 people who have appeared on that album are now dead.
and that's why I never want to collaborate with you.
No, that was my plan all along. Because
Yeah, that's unsettling.
yeah,
I've only ever had one musician that I wrote music with and performed with who died, and that was my buddy Ryan Fox. We had our first gig. It would have been like, I think right around now. I think it was like an industry New Year thing. We had a gig, and then the following week he didn't show up to jam, which was not an unusual thing. And so we hung out for a bit, and then eventually we were like, okay, well, let's go home. The next morning, I woke up and I was living in the house I'm in now with Mikey Bastard and Lisa upstairs.
yeah.
And I'm back living in that same house.
Nice.
And Mikey wakes up and he, comes into my room and he's like, you been on Facebook yet? I'm like, no, why? He's like, I think I know why Ryan didn't make band practice.
Oh.
And it was because he got hit by a car that morning, the morning of the band practice. And we thought he was dead. He actually died the next day, but we thought he was dead at the time. And I was like, well, fuck, that's a good excuse.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I'm young and I'm probably in my early 20s or something, and I'll never die. But things like Chai dying
Ooh.
was affected a lot of people.
Yeah, because it just goes to show what music can do for people, you know, and to be the source of the music and then see the outcry. Because I was with Chai on the first comeback tour,
Yep.
the tour of we're kidnapping him. The dates are booked. He knows the tour is happening, but we're still going to have to kidnap him to make it all happen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
get him on a plane with no drugs in his pocket whatsoever. And he has agreed to clean up. And then it was, all right, now we got to deal with Chai going through insane withdrawals of no crack, no meth, no whatever. And pretty much supplementing him with as many cigarettes as possible, as many beers as possible. Like he was even drinking warm beer in the back of the Enterprise fucking rental cargo van that we had while we're driving down the 401 heading to London, Ontario, or heading to Waterloo or whatever the fuck, wherever we were going, you know.
Yep.
And then stopping off at pharmacies to get like the most extreme cough medicine possible and leaving Chai in the van so that the more straight-laced individual gets to go in and go, yeah, so this is what I'm looking for because I don't feel well, you know, like I need this. And it's like, oh, okay, let me help you, you know, because I know if I said Chai and it's going to be like, call the cops.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This guy's got some different plans for this stuff. And it was very hard on that tour. Like it wasn't like it was mentally draining or straining. It was what was hard was watching, like seeing him battle the battle he had to do, and there was nothing any of us could do except help him as best as we could, you know. Like kudos to Goonie and Dennis and Chad. Like they were stand-up dudes for what they were trying to do at that time. The other hard part was seeing the disappointment in the fans because they'd only heard rumors of how fucked up he was based off internet, based off social media, based off what their friends would see in Vancouver and report back. Like, did you know Chai is a fucking cracked out busboy at the Cobalt? You know, like just like this is not the Chai I remember. And I really remember playing a show somewhere in Ontario. It may have been London, but it was just somewhere in Ontario. And a dude who I had met previously from all my touring and stuff, he came up to me at the end of the night and like, you know, because I saw him at the beginning and he was just like so excited. I got to see SNFU. It's been so long since I got to see Chai, blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, I'm happy to see you too. Don't worry, man. I'm still happy to see you. I'm like, yeah, I don't give a shit. You know, I want you to have a great night. And at the end of the show, I saw him out behind the venue and I was just like, hey, man, what'd you think of the show? And he just had such a look of disappointment on his face. And he was just like, he was getting the lyrics wrong. He was mumbling. He did not sound like the Chai I remember. He's like, this is the last SNFU show I'm ever going to. And I felt really bad, you know, and it was just like, what can I do? Like, there's nothing I can do because, I did my set. I did what I was supposed to do. Like, you know, and there was a lot of feedback like that. And it kept coming up. And then it was just crazy. Like, but at the same time, he was focused, but it was just he wasn't as focused as he needed to be. I think on that tour he was more into the like just I just need to keep drinking You know, that's the only, or else I'm going to end up running off stage and leaving the venue and trying to find the first person I can who can help me, you know. And then there was the Western Canadian tour, which happened, well, I think like a month after that one or something. And we did the 2 nights in Calgary at, was it the Stetson?
Yep.
Is that what it was? Supposed to be one night, and then we lost the Edmonton show. I don't know what the reason was. And then we ended up making it up in Calgary, and that was Chai's birthday. And then because the Stetson really fucked up on the ticket sales and started selling tickets at the door, so people who showed up with the pre-purchase tickets, they're like, "No, we're sold out. We can't." And they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You can't get in." I think that was no, it was the Stetson.
You know, honestly, it sounds more like the Stetson than Dickens. So yeah, it probably was the Stetson.
They oversold, and then they ended up telling people like, "Oh, don't worry, because they're gonna play tomorrow. So just come back tomorrow with your ticket, and you're fine." And then, yeah, that first show, that was the one with the fucking stupid ass security guy in the flip flops.
Yes. Okay. Yes, that was definitely the Stetson.
And how Mark wanted to just beat that guy's fucking head in, because Mark kept putting his foot up on the stage while I was playing, and the guy kept like, no, move your foot, we have to keep the clearance. And I was just like, dude, leave it alone. Just I feel safe. I'm more safe with these guys than with you, Mr. Flip Flop. Yeah. And I felt more safe having Mark at the front of the stage than having fucking Flip Flop guy. Which reminds me, I like when you guys were talking, what was that, a couple of weeks back or whatever?
Yep.
When we were talking to Mark and you guys were talking about the Castle, it reminded me of playing a show at the Castle. I didn't know Mark at the time. I think that was right when I met Mark. I had heard about him and the Calgary Beer. I think it was even that night I had heard of him, and people were just like, "Watch out for that guy. He's a good man. He's a good man. But watch out for that guy. You don't want to be on his bad side." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." I think it was Tron who told me that of all people, right? And so I remember playing the Castle that night, and Mark stood 3 feet from the stage, right? Arms like this, looking all fucking super smug and just Mark, right? Yep. Just Mark being Mark. And then there was a good 6 to 10 foot radius of space behind him, like in like that much, right? Yep. And after every song, he would then just turn around, give this evil, like he's just like, yeah, making sure like you better all be clapping for this fucking guy, like I'm clapping for this fucking guy, and then he just go right back to the arms crossed again, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not gonna heckle this guy. I'm just gonna keep playing, and I'll just heckle around him as much as I'm not, And then he came up to me afterwards and was just like, "Hey, Mr. Plow, that was great. Blah, blah, blah. My name is Mark, run Calgary Beer Corps." And I was just like, "Holy fuck, what is this?" All of a sudden he's just like, "I want to start booking shows. I'm gonna start bringing you to town." I'm like, okay. You seem like a nice guy. Okay, you look really scary, but you seem like a super nice guy to me. So I'm just gonna smile and nod politely and accept what you have to say. So yeah, because I remember Aaron and I stayed at his house the first night of that 4-night tour. Yep. We stayed with him, and then we ventured off to, I think, Innisfail after that. But yeah, it's still just etched in my mind that first time meeting Mark and just how he was with the crowd, and like it was just like, wow, I didn't realize one man has so much power in rock world.
The first Bitch Kryptonite show we ever did, we had come up that day with the idea of making the whole show about making fun of Mark, and everyone, like, we're jamming and they're like, "That's hilarious, we should totally do this." And then like they start to realize that I'm serious, and they're like, we we can't do that. And I was like, it's going to be fine. Mark's a friend of mine. We're good.
Yeah.
And we get in and we start in and we're like, we're the London Lager League. We're like the Calgary Beer Quo, but good. And Mark comes fucking like walking, slow walk through the distillery, gets right to the front, sits down with his arm crossed, a great big shit-eating smile on his face, and just ate up the whole show.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a good one. He's one of the good ones for sure. Yeah, no, it's fucking funny shit, man. But yeah, that memory came crashing back into my brain once the two of you started talking about that old place. Hadn't even thought of that place in who knows how long. So I know it's completely gone now, right? The castle.
Yeah. So the first distillery is the building is still there, but I think it's like office view space or something. The second one, they completely destroyed the building and then built a fucking tower over top of it.
Mm.
And the third one, I think, is a yoga studio.
And now the warehouse, that was completely knocked down too, or no?
No, there was actually a bar there, the Commonwealth. And
Oh,
they
okay.
still have the same stage, but I've heard that people like go there and see shows. I've never been. To me, like the warehouse in the underground was a special place, and I don't really care to go back. But
Yeah. It's yeah. I can say the same about the Cobalt in Vancouver. Like once Wendy got forced out, and then they brought new people in who originally promised that they weren't going to do shows and that it was just going to be DJs at best. Ended up starting to do shows. I never stepped. Well, mind you, I also came down here, but I actually did get a couple emails from other bands or whatever saying, "Hey man, I'm putting a show together up in Vancouver. Next, if you want to come up, you're totally welcome to play." And I was like, "Oh, where's the show?" "Oh, it's at the Cobalt, man." I'm just like, "Nope, not happening. I'm on Team Wendy. I'm not on Team Fuckface." Like even the Hanson brothers went back and played there under the new moniker and all that, and it didn't have the same feel to it. And people were like, I'm playing the Cobalt. It's like, yeah, but it's not the Cobalt that you want to be excited that you played. It's like going into because remember there was all those rumors about CBGB's moving to Vegas and going into being moved into a casino, right? Oh, I'm playing CBGB's. Like, no, dude, you're playing the faux GBs is what you're playing. You're not playing CBGB's, man. You're playing a fucking every bit of this wall was reprinted. This is not the original posters from the 1970s on this wall.
Is like 3D printed.
Right. Like, do people even know what CBGB stands for?
Country Bluegrass and Blues.
You got it.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to talk about? It's been about an hour now.
It's been about an hour. How's your time? Are you good or?
We can go a bit longer if you want.
All right, let's go a bit longer. I think I told this story.
Since there's a grand total of 3 people, and I'm assuming 2 of them are
my
us.
phone says 1. My phone says 1, so we're celebrities. But I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told you this story like directly, but I think I told it when Mark was there. The day I knew I was cool. Have I told you the story?
I may have heard it when you guys were talking.
So the day I knew I was cool, I used to always say that the day that Dave Plow knows who I am is the day where I'm cool, because you would come to town and everyone would be like, "Oh my God, Mr. Plow, remember me? We used to like watch things together, and we, every time you come to town, we're super buddies." And you're like, "Yeah, friend, I totally know." And we would often giggle about that. And I just always was like, okay, well, I'm one of those people. That's cool. And then the SNFU show with Flippy Flop guy. I'm pretty sure that was the one you were the driver for SNFU. And
driver opening act. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was part of the tour. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were playing I think after you or before you, one or the other. The Regurgitones, my second real band.
I think I went on right after you guys.
I think yeah, I think we were bad enough to go before the opener. But we go backstage and we're starting to set up, and you were that little the dart room behind the Stetson. And I saw you and I was like, Mr. Plow, it's so good to see you. And you're like, oh, it's good to see you too, buddy. And I was like, right on, man. My band's playing tonight. We're kind of and you're like, Jim, I know what your band sounds like.
We've played together before, man. I remember.
Oh,
Yeah, we played at.
that was the moment.
Yeah, because we did the distillery before.
I think we did the distillery a couple times.
We did. I know we did the distillery once for sure. Bitch Kryptonite was at the Underground.
Yeah.
On the Invasive show.
Yep.
I requested for when we booked that show, I was like, we got to get Bitch Kryptonite to play. We got to. And Byron was like, what the fuck is that? I said, dude, just shut up. You'll love it. And then you guys played that one. And then the second Invasives Calgary show was at Dickens with Tron's band.
Yep.
Which was, and the whole rest of that. The A-Team, yeah. And then the whole rest of that tour, because they had this one song where he's just so fucking monotone with the vocals. He's just like, woke up this morning, I went to the store, I bought myself some groceries. And so we just like laughed our fucking asses off at that. And that lasted the whole rest of the tour. Just whenever there was a dull moment in the van or like wasting time at the venue or whatever, one of the four of us would just break out into, like, not knowing the lyrics, but we would just break out into that. I do remember on that Invasives tour, that's when Michael Jackson died, and we were at the Ship and Anchor for breakfast, the four of us. And they were playing Michael Jackson on the speaker on the outside patio. They were just like grooving away to it. And then a server, we were just like, wow, man, you guys are playing a lot of Michael Jackson today. Because like it was just nonstop, right? And she's like, well, didn't you guys hear? Or, no. What's going on? She's like, Michael Jackson died today. We're like, oh, okay. That's why you're playing. All right. Now it makes sense.
A week after that, I went to go grocery shopping. Me and Mikey Bastard went grocery shopping, and we're standing in line, and it's busy, and there's people all around. And I very loudly but conversationally go, there's a lot of pictures of Michael Jackson in the media these days. I haven't really been paying attention, but does he have a new album out? And all these people, you can just see them like.
Yeah, I wrote what I consider to be my first real joke was on that Invasives tour, where I said, hey, what's the difference? Because Farrah Fawcett died that day too, and then Michael Jackson stole all the fucking thunder, right?
Yep.
And we were in the hotel room in Innisfail. We didn't have a show. We tried to fucking sneak onto the SNFU show because they were coming this way while we were doing, like, we were both circling like this around Alberta, right? And we had a night off, so we figured, like, hey, let's try to fucking sneak on their show, which it didn't happen because the show was overbooked with bands. So we just decided to go we went down. Once we found that out, we decided we're going to go back to the hotel and drink, and then we'll go to the show, which we did, but didn't last. I think we even left before SNFU played because we just got too wasted. But while we were in the hotel room that day, I wrote what I consider to be the first real joke that I wrote, which is, hey, what's the difference between Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett?
What's that?
A lot of kids used to jerk off to Farrah Fawcett, while Michael Jackson jerks off a lot of kids.
That is exactly horrible and yet totally perfect.
But it's true.
Yeah.
right? And then our last night of the tour, we were in Canmore, and I decided to say it on stage. I would say 75% laughed and about 25% fucking groaned. And I'm like, what? Too soon? Oh, boo-hoo. These fucking dead. What, is he going to come after me? No, he's too busy diddling little fucking kids up in heaven now.
Yeah. Like, it's so nice here.
I gotta get the hair off my
we had a
fingers.
show at Burns like a couple of days after his death, so we covered Smooth Criminal in the style of the Alien Ant Farm version.
Of course.
And none of us knew the lyrics, so we were just going like. It was as train wreck as it sounds.
Oh.
It's on YouTube.
Don't worry, that's just like me doing a version of Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi.
Nice.
I never get past the first chorus.
Oh yeah. Too hard for any human to sing.
It's just more because I'm just butchering the fuck out of the song and I don't want to continue.
That made me think of there was a karaoke night, and I went with a bunch of the Beercore folks, and Dead Neck Jim and I, oh shit Jim, we sang Everything I Do It For You, and we did it in harmony, and like as a super romance song. Fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I went to a burlesque party once in Vancouver, and they had karaoke going, and they're all just like, "Come on, Plow, you need to get up." I'm like, "No, I really don't want to." And then I finally was just like, "Fine, if it's gonna shut you all up, I'll do something." So I chose "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears, but more because I was listening to a punk version of it. So I was like, "Okay, yeah, it's a short song. I'm good, right?" Yeah, turns out the song's like 5 fucking minutes long, and I started off in falsetto trying to be Britney Spears. And by the first chorus, I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. And also, I cleared half the place out trying to do it as well. And I was just like, fuck this, and just put the microphone down. Like, I'm going for a smoke. I don't want to do this anymore. And please never ask me to sing karaoke again because I really don't like it. So.
I love it. I love it because it's so fucking bad. And I love to be able to like just fucking ham it up, and I fake it really well. But yeah, man, there's something about my best thing that I ever did at karaoke. There was this bar in Calgary called Hannibal's Pub, just a little shithole pizza place that had a little bar, and they used to do karaoke. And a buddy of mine from high school was the karaoke guy, and I convinced him to do this with me. So we did Milli Vanilli's "Blame It on the Rain." But you know how there's backing vocals that you can turn on when the drunk guy doesn't know how to. So we just cranked those and lip sync. And literally everyone was like, I can't believe how good you guys sounded it. You didn't get it.
Yeah. When you karaoke as much as I do, you knock it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, I don't karaoke. I karaoke. I'm suddenly thinking back to chatting with you in the back of the Innisfail Hotel, the zoo, and drunk as fuck. You of course are sober. I am not. We got to Innisfail at like 3 and started drinking, and this is now 10:30 or 11 at night, and I remember talking to you, but that's one of the few things I remember about the night, which should be flattering. And I remember going like, excuse me, and I literally like I just turned. I didn't even like walk in the turned. So anyway,
that was off the patio. Yeah, off the patio, and it just went right back into your story again. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Committing to the story.
You know, honestly, what it was I was enjoying talking to you so much. I was like, my brain was like, don't fucking just take some long ass time and lose this moment. Just get it over with. So anyway.
You're a good man. You're a good man, Jim. You're a good man.
Oh, I missed you, Plow.
I miss you too, buddy. One day we will cross paths again.
Absolutely.
Well,
Maybe if you can, talk to Portland and just be like, hey, stop burning the whole city down, you terrorists. Because that's our name.
yeah, well, yeah, because there's so much evil in Portland right now.
Yeah.
So much evil. Well, but we did discuss about doing a road trip of some sort once all this shit fucking mellows out.
Yep.
And yeah, I personally would love to hit up Alberta if at all possible, just to see some folk more than anything else.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
Alberta's always been like almost like a second home for the whole Plow thing. There was like
Yep.
there were shows where I would just drive to do a one-off show in Calgary and then fucking turn around and drive home afterwards.
I remember.
Which was so fucking stupid. Looking back now,
But they were fun shows.
yeah, they were great, and between what the underground was willing to give me for a guarantee and then like all the crazy merch sales afterwards, like it was well worth it, but physically it was just like, oh my god, and I feel like I'm over after
We're not young men anymore.
oh no, those fucking days of touring are way out the window of being a maniac like that. That's for damn fucking sure. Like, oh, what, last minute show, you're 12 hours away, I'm in. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll see you there. Yeah. No, those days are long fucking gone.
Mark Russell just finally joined.
The days of not doing that anymore.
Yep. No, I was just saying that Mark Russell finally joined the live stream.
Oh, he's finally in here?
Yeah, he finally came in with the hey fuckers.
Oh, there
Hey,
he
Mark, we see you.
Yeah, and we're about to end.
Leave it to Mark, man.
Yeah, always fashionably late. He had to do his hair to watch it.
He's got hair now, man.
I know. I saw those. I've seen those professional portraits of him that were taken.
Yes, he's very, very handsome man. I didn't get that. I got hair, but I just still look funny.
Well, since he's now watching, oh, he says he was here at the beginning. I don't believe you. So did we talk shit about you, or did we say nice things about you? Let's see if he responds. Because your screen said 1, my screen says 3. It still says 3. So and I see Mark is still only able to type with one finger, based on how slow he's replying. It's his hammer toes. But yeah, no, we'll figure out some shit down the road. When it comes to music for me these days, I think I've done a couple live streams earlier this year to try to entertain some people. You too sexy to talk shit. Oh, Mark, get some glasses. But yeah, like I did a couple live streams. P.S. I'm totally texting with one finger. I knew it. I could tell. I did come up with a parody idea that now it's just a matter of learning the songs to play and to record. I took 5 exploited songs.
Okay.
And it's now called Exploded, of course. And I updated their lyrics because they were mad at Margaret Thatcher back in the 80s, right? So I just updated it to 2020. So instead of let's start a war, said Maggie one day, I changed it to get off my lawn, said Karen one day.
Okay.
And so instead of the song Maggie. Uh, I changed it to just Karen. Plow you in an Uber. Fuck, that's going to be pricey. I'm the driver, dickbag.
Clearly, Mark was here at the beginning and heard this
Oh
whole
yeah,
story.
clearly, as we discussed what I do for work, clearly Mark was here right from the get go. We started at 7 o'clock your time, not 7 o'clock my time. Uh, so yeah, there's those two, and instead of sex and violence, it's punks with cell phones, which is just was actually inspired by a friend of mine who we were talking one night, and he was just like, all these punks are so anti-establishment, anti-corporation, but yet then they pull out their fucking iPhone to spew all over Facebook their messages about how much they're anti-corporate. It's like, that makes a lot of weird sense. That's funny. So yeah, punks with cell phones, and instead of the cop car song about how much Waddy hates cop cars, I changed it to being about cats. So instead of I hate cop cars, it's I hate your cat. Is my chorus instead. So yeah, I updated it. A buddy of mine suggested calling it "Millennials Not Dead" or "Millennials Are Dead."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I have in the pocket at the moment, and I've actually started writing like original Plow material that I have not attempted to do in over 3 years
Right.
now. So that is going to be interesting as well. And then the wife and I wrote a book, put that out early last year, all about how I used to pick up lovely dead people for a living, and then she's actually moved on, and she completed another novel and is about to finish her third novel now. Yeah, she's just like she's better than Kiss. She can put out 2 books in a year. Give me some new Plow. We just talked about it. He says, "Fuck cats." Yeah, I know. I wasn't too fond of that musical either. You'll love it. You'll laugh. You'll cry. It's better than cats. Great old.
I'm actually. I want to read the book. I haven't picked anything up. I don't know how to do that.
Do you know how to use Amazon?
Yeah, but I don't have an Amazon account, and that's like a point of me being a punk rocker. And actually, I do have. I'm lying. I now have an Amazon account because I didn't realize I had one all along because I had an Audible account. So I've been like, oh, I don't support the evil empire while supporting the evil empire the whole time.
Yeah, you can. If you do Kindle, you can get it for your Kindle. We don't have an audio version yet. Erin wants to do an audio version of the book. I think she wants me to do it though. And then you can order like a actual paperback copy through Amazon. And like that's why we got to did the publishing through Amazon, because they print to order.
Okay.
So we don't have to be like, oh, we just bought 5,000 books and a pandemic. All these boxes in the garage, right? Yeah, you order it, and within I think like 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be on your doorstep, which is pretty cool. A lot of people in Canada have been buying the book. Strangely, it's more Canadians than Americans that are buying the book. It's getting decent reviews. People are digging it. It is pretty insane gore wise and story wise. And yeah, there's even some possibilities that the book may end up doing in the future. being in the Hollywood sense, quite possibly.
Yeah, if you need someone to play you, I'm thinking Tom Cruise.
I was well. It has to be a younger me. So.
Like Emilio Estevez.
You know, if Mark looked younger, I was going to go with him. But yeah, I know. I saw the gray in his hair, so you can't get that out. But yeah, like there were some yammerings early on during the pandemic. We ended up meeting people. It was actually Norwood, of all people, who was like, "Hey, where do I get your book? I have a friend who, needs to read your book." And then she read the book, and this is a woman who has her own production company. And then, of course, has all these ties to all these other people and this and that, the Hollywood blow smoke up your ass routine. And this went on for probably a good 3 months or so. And Norwood was involved with the production company as well. And then there was a whole like, hey, I got a guy who's going to give you like $5,000 so that we have the rights to fucking shop your book and this and that. And we're going $5,000 pandemic. Yes, we're listening. I like the cut of this jib, And then then there were a couple of FaceTimes with the one leading the charge that were kind of going more sour than anything else. And I was just like, I don't really trust it. Because then the $5,000 disappeared. The guy who was going to back it decided like 2 days later, like, no, I'm out. I don't want to, I don't know anymore.
The wrong time to commit.
Oh yeah, that's all we kept hearing, of course, because the COVID. And then so it turned out that I was talking with a family member, and they were like, your cousin's in the business. And I was like, ooh, what are you talking about? And so I then got a hold of my cousin, and he was just like, dude, get me the book. So I got him the book. He has his own company and has like 20 people under him. And he gave the book to a few of them. And then he contacted me back and was like, I'm just waiting for the notes to see what they have to say about the book. We'll go from there. I was like, okay, I'll try back again. And then he ends up calling me like a week later. He's like, dude, we're going to help you out. And I was like, huh? He's like, not just because you're family, but because of based off what people said about your book, we're going to help you. So now I'm like, since there's only me, you, and Mark listening.
Mark's not there.
Oh, he's gone now?
No, Mark's still there, yeah.
Oh, Mark's still there, yeah. So now we actually have kind of an agent that is trying to get the book into the hands of the right people so that it could possibly turn into either a cable series or streaming series or even possibly a film.
That's fucking awesome.
So that's where that's at. And now that shit is starting, because the main thing we kept hearing from that guy was like, COVID, everything shut down, COVID. Once stuff starts to start, because they're filming shows again now, as safely as possible. He's like, we'll try to figure shit out. And like some of the people that my cousin's little talent agency thing represent are some like well-known decent motherfuckers that it's just like, make this fucking happen.
Well, I'll lend a little bit of my credibility, as it clearly, I mean, I've got 2 people watching right now.
And I'm one of them.
Yeah, I endorse fully the Mr. Plow movie.
Well, it's not Mr. Plow. The thing is, the book, it is the main thing about the book is it's all about the death business, how I worked in the death business, right? But then the underlying story is me learning the music, being introduced to like going to the first punk rock bar show and being like, what the fuck is this, you know, and then starting a band with a friend and then doing the solo thing and then so on. Like there is room for obviously a more down the road, the way the book is left off, but I don't know. There's also a part of me that kind of wants to write the Mr. Plow book too, about all the wacky fucking shenanigans, you know, like iron baseball or, you know, playing in the Fraser Valley, like out in Abbotsford, out in the churchgoer fucking land, and having a girl come up to me with a piece of paper telling me, you need to sign this or you can't play tonight. And I said, oh, what's this? And she goes, well, this is just going to, you're signing off saying that you're not going to swear on stage. You're not going to be vulgar. You're not going to be this. And I go, do you not know who you booked for this show tonight? And she's just like, yeah, I booked Mr. Plow. I go, yeah, which Mr. Plow were you thinking you booked? And, you know, and she's like, so you can't do it? I was like, considering the word fuck is in the title of some of my songs, no. I'm like, what am I going to say? Fork you? Eat a spoon?
Heck you.
Heck.
Just because you want to heck me doesn't mean I want to heck you.
It just doesn't have the same feel. Just because you want to axe me doesn't mean I want to axe you. You know, it's just not the same. And like, yeah, I ended up bailing. Just like, yeah, go fuck yourself. And then I had that happen again in, what the fuck? I think it was North Dakota, of all places. It was an all ages like coffee house spot, and there were a lot of kids in this place. Not to see me because I had never been there before, so it was obviously to see somebody else. And this girl came up she's just like, yeah, you know, we kind of booked you without listening to you, and then we listened to you like 2 days ago, and then we realized we might have a problem. How clean can you go? And I was like, I can be fairly clean. So, you know, I just like, okay, all the songs that don't have swear words is what I'll do. And this is one of the few times I actually had to write a set list, because if I don't have those song titles in front of me, I'm just going to be like, hey, no, now it's time to go to this one. And yeah, this has the most swear words ever. Pew, pew, pew. I'm going to say fuck you constantly. So if I at least have a list in front of me, that will be like, okay, no, okay, yep. I wrote down all the songs I know have 0 swear words. And the thing, I played Are You Really a Guy? Because, you know, there's no swearing in the song, but I guess the content of the material, right? So it turns out there's a young teenage girl who has mental disabilities in the back, right? As soon as the song is over, all the crowd's like, yay! And all you hear from the back is dildo, 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 dildo. Just non-stop for like 30 seconds. And I'm just like, holy fuck, she learned a new word today. This'll be fun. Yeah.
Somebody's working tomorrow.
Right? Or like another great moment was there was this all ages venue down in Anaheim, California called the Chain Reaction. 7 nights a week, all ages shows. Local bands sell the tickets to get on the shows down the road with the bigger, like they would have all the national touring bands would play there, right?
Yep.
And so I was able to score a show and playing for next to no one because I didn't sell any tickets because I'm not from there. And the guy didn't expect me to sell any tickets either. So get up and start playing, and Norwood actually came to this show. He drove with me all the way out there, right? From like it's only like an hour drive from his neck of the woods, and yeah, he brought this friend of his, this girl Emily, and so the two of them are watching me play, and like 3 songs in, all of a sudden there's this commotion where it's this mother trying to drag the daughter out of the place because the mother is very offended by my material. And all I'm hearing is like, no, Mom, I like this guy. He's really funny. And she's like, you are coming with me. You do not need to listen to this. This is disgusting. And she is, no, I really like this. This is hilarious. And meanwhile, Norwood's just cracking up laughing, thinking the whole thing's fucking hilarious, right? So after I was done playing, the whole security staff, they buy all my shit, right? I feel like I'm at the warehouse again.
Yep.
Like back when at the warehouse, it was always hilarious because I had one bouncer tell me they used to fucking fight each other to see who would get the work downstairs to work the plow set.
Right on.
Which I was like, "Aw, that's very sweet of you," and very weird.
Yeah.
And so the security guys, they buy my shit, and I square up with the guy at the end. He gives me like $50 just for coming out or whatever. And I'm like, hey man, I go, I know this is a long shot, but do you have any open dates in the next like 7 days? I'm gonna be just around the area. I don't mind racing back out here for something, right? He's like, oh, let me check. So he checks, he comes back, he's like, hey man, I got this pop punk show in 3 days. Are you down? I'm like, yeah. He goes, all right, I'll give you like $75. Come out, play a set. I'm like, okay. So I get there. And he goes, I made a horrible mistake. I go, oh, what's that? He goes, I totally forgot. This is a Christian pop punk show. He goes, do you have any clean material you could do? And I'm like, oh. And at this time, it was like, yeah, I got maybe 5 songs, right? You know?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll still pay you what I told you I'll pay you. Just play the cleanest of the cleanest material you have, and then you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, okay. So I get up there, play a song. I think it was like "Let's Get Fat Together." They got the crowd going. They're digging it. They're digging it. Security at the back of the room. Play the donkey song. Play the shower girl. Play just because you want to fuck me. You know, they're screaming out the nastiest of the nastiest. And I'm just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, security, shut up, shut up. You know, yeah, I think I played a grand total of 5 songs. I broke a string on the 4th song. Finished off by playing "If You're Happy, You Know It, Clap Your Hands," and then I got the fuck out of there. And then as soon as I was done, I guess one of the security guys took it upon himself to take the CD he had purchased from me the days before to then put it in the house stereo so he could hear the songs that I didn't play on stage.
Amazing.
Yeah, which then leads to the main owner, manager, promoter guy storming through the club going, who the fuck put this on? What the fuck? What the fuck? What did you do? And I'm like, I did nothing, man. It's your security staff. This has nothing to do with me whatsoever. And he's like, who the they chased down his security staff trying to figure out who he's gonna fucking fire. But then I learned a great thing that night. The security staff told me, they go, we really hate working these Christian pop punk shows because they're the nastiest of the nasty. They're butt fucking in the stalls in the bathrooms. They're doing coke. They're doing who knows what the fuck. They're more out of control once the parents aren't around than regular punk rockers.
What? It's like when we used to book hardcore shows. That was the time when you're guaranteeing you're kicking people out for doing cocaine.
Oh yeah. I remember a buddy of mine. He ran a bar and he booked a straight edge hardcore show, and I just went down because a friend of mine's band was playing, and he comes running up to me. He goes, "What the fuck's with all these people?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "They're just ordering soda, just fucking orange soda, Coca-Cola, root beer. I had to go change the fountains fucking 3 times. I never have to change them more than once in a week." You know, and it's just like, I go, dude, it's a straight edge show. He goes, what's that? I go, they don't drink. He goes, why the fuck did I book this? They should have told me that originally. I never would have booked this shit. I need those fucking beer sales. So yeah, last time ever a straight edge show was there. No, it took Mark 20 minutes to write something else. Yeah, sure does.
He's not wrong.
Hmm?
Yeah, there's a Jamie Kilmeister bit that I absolutely love. I know he kind of got as harangued as a comedian for he was very pro-feminist, very all that kind of stuff, and then it turns out he was actually a skeevy guy or whatever. I don't know the whole story, but
Right.
he disappeared from sight. But he has this whole bit about gay marriage, and it's about how, like, you know, I personally think it is less ethical to be like, you know, a Christian minister like, I don't know, Ted Haggard, who then decides he's gonna go in a meth bender and get shame-fisted by a male prostitute.
Well, you know, all you gotta do is swoop that foot under the stall, and next thing you know, shit happens.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I just was tapping my foot to the music.
And then it kind of went sideways.
Things happen.
Sideways on so many levels.
But I found love, so that's what matters.
Yeah, and now I'm going through a divorce. But I found the love of a young man. What's
Love that we're not say his name.
they call him a twink? He's mine. He's my Twinkie. Yes.
There's nothing, because you know, like I personally, I could give two shits what people do, but I distinctly hate when people like act one way and behave another. And the whole fucking Christian right, it boggles my mind how they can be like, oh, we hate the sodomites. Can also I have a lot of bum sex with people, please?
I stick bumblebees in a tube and shove that tube up my butt. Oh, the tickling.
Like Jesus intended.
Yeah. As long as it's just tickling. Little is, I'm okay.
Well, Dave, I had to come into my bedroom to plug in my phone because I'm about to die, but I have so much enjoyed our chat. We should do this again.
You name it. We'll do it.
Awesome, brother. You take care. You stay safe. I know that all of Portland is on fire and the terrorists are everywhere.
I was looking for smoke. I didn't see any yet. Yeah, no, I've just been sitting here at the airport parking lot this whole time. Because as soon as we end, I'm going to turn the Uber app on and go back to picking people up at the airport. That's what I do now. Is just I just decided to do airport. It's a lot easier rather than fucking all these like, oh, this place was only 3 minutes away. You mean I could have walked there? It's like, yeah, you fucking idiot. Why didn't you look on your app? Yeah. The shortest ride I ever gave was 1 minute and 23 seconds. And then the person started fucking giving me shit for not telling them how short a ride it was going to be.
When the app said $2.80, that was a hint.
Yeah, because it shows you the line from A to B, but obviously this, So, because we have a lot, I think Calgary's the same way, where it's just a lot of one-way streets, right?
Yep.
Like that's what our downtown is just nothing but one-ways. So, I pick her up on 3rd. She needed to go to 4th, so she could have walked from a straight line like that, but because of the one-ways, I had to go up and around like that. She could have walked it faster than what it took to drive, and yet then she starts yelling at me like it's my fault.
Yeah, you clearly planned the city. Yeah,
I pre-planned this ahead of time. When the call came in, I said, "Ooh, I'm going to take this one for a ride, and follow the street signs."
All right, man. Well, you have a fantastic night. Make loads and loads of that killer green.
I'm already ready to go home. I've only done one ride today. The main part of my day was to talk to you. That was the main goal for me today. Well,
I'm glad I did.
And to take care of my kids and all that. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe do a couple rides and see how it goes. I have to say, dude, this is the funniest fucking job in the world. If you had a car and were able to tolerate people, this is the funniest. And honestly, if you're going to school for psychology or like a psych major, this is the best job for you because you learn so much in a very short amount of time about people. I've had people tell me their whole fucking life story in 5 minutes, and then they want my advice. And I'm just like, I can't help you, man. The fair's we're done. Get out of my car. Yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked. Get out of my car. You're fucked. Yeah, good to see you. Nice to chat with you. You know, I still follow you on the old Facebook, and I keep up with what's going on. So I still, even though I'm kind of incognito most of the time on there, but you know, I've been throwing out my deep thoughts, my daily affirmations lately, trying trying to spread thoughts into the world with a more positive but yet somewhat confusing sense as well. Oh, on a last note, I have noticed something about myself in the last 8 months, and I'd like to share it with you because I think you would understand that. I've noticed this might just be because people in the car. I have a glass, like a protector partition here, and then when you wear the mask as well, it's kind of harder to hear when they're talking because they got their mask on. So I've noticed this is mainly more out of confusion, trying to figure out what they said. But I've noticed that I react like a dog now. Huh? I just always seem to, huh? Tilt, always do their head tilt, and I'm catching myself now, like when I'm talking to the wife and I'm finding something's huh? Like, so I'm learning now, like, so dogs do it, so they feel that if they change the angle of what they're looking at, so right now we're like this, but if I do this, now it's all gonna make sense to me when you repeat to me again.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that. He said bye homies, and he didn't even spell bye correctly. Same old Mark.
Yeah.
Same old. Same old. Always once illiterate, always illiterate.
Absolutely. You can take the trailer park out of the boy. But
Oh,
yeah.
Letterkenny is my new favorite show.
Yes.
I just discovered it like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been
there's a thing called on YouTube that's called something like the Encyclopedia of Prince Edward Island or something like that. That's sort of
where it started. Yeah. That guy Wayne, right? His character. Yeah. Talking about Canadian stuff. I remember that from a long time, like what, almost 8 years ago or something. I didn't realize it turned into a show. And I remember people going like, "Oh, Letterkenny's fucking hilarious," and then I was just like, well, "I don't know." And then I finally checked it out about 6 months ago, and was like, "Holy fuck, what have I been missing?"
Yep.
This is so, and it just made me so homesick, more than anything else. Like, you know, all the little sayings that they do, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Canadiana that's actually picked up in the States a bit.
Yeah, well, it's down here. It's on Hulu.
Yeah,
which is big for them. They were supposed to do 2 nights here on their tour last year. They were going to do a huge North American tour. They had 2 nights sold out here in Portland. By the time I had found out about it, it was completely sold out. I was so pissed.
Oh, no doubt.
But then today, Dan, Mr. K. Trevor, tweeted today. He said he's going to wear a different wrestling or a different T-shirt every day, and they're all wrestling shirts for right now. So I tweeted him back about. I said, how many wrestling shirts do you have, or something like that, and then he actually tweeted me back. So that was he tweeted me back. He actually responded to my tweet today. So that was my other glorified moment of the day.
Good day.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I'm gonna run. You take care of yourself, and we will do this again soon. It was a pleasure, man.
We don't even have. Yeah, we can just talk through Messenger, man. We don't even have to fucking do a Facebook Live. Yeah, you could just FaceTime it through Facebook. Just hit me up. Just hit me up. Going, dude, we need to talk. And I'm like, okay, we'll talk. You're one of the better dudes, dude. And now that Mark's gone, we can say you're way nicer than Mark.
I'm the real Calgary hero.
You're the real leader of CBC.
You bet. And you're my number 2. All right. Take care, brother.
I'm your honorary number 2.
Honorary number 2, yeah. We're not getting in the way of you being that Salem core.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Be safe. We'll talk soon.
Take care, everybody.
All right, what do I do? Hit X?
I'll hit finish and just do it.